Hello everybody and welcome to this new video. This is Robbie from Audiofire. Today we're going to try to explore the most hidden functions in SEQui2R SYNTH. All those little things that somebody might overlook, but they are really powerful features. We're going to start with this button here, the mono mode. This button here, this M over here, as opposed to this. One thing to notice is that the mono mode will not work when a sequence is going. As a matter of fact, the mono button will disappear when the step sequencer is on. One thing that is a little bit more hidden is the way to edit the sub-oscillator and the noise generator. So let's load a white noise here. Let's put the volume down. By clicking this button here, group A to all, whatever parameter I'm gonna change on the first group, it will control the same parameters on oscillator B, on the sub-oscillator, and on the noise generator. And that is very useful when you don't want to have too much elaborated patches. But when you want to have different filters, LFOs and envelopes, for example, for group A and different ones for group B, then it's very handy that this button is not clicked. But how do we edit the noise generator and the sub-oscillator? Here we have a button. As soon as I click it, I see this message. The volume envelope of noise is controlled by group A envelope knobs. What it means is that if I wanted to change the attack and release or sustain of the volume of the noise generator, I would have to change them here. And all these parameters will affect the noise generator because the edit button on the noise generator is clicked. So all this. Then when I, for example, select again group A, you see that they are all different. Now, if I want to edit instead the sub-oscillator, I will press this button and this message says that the volume envelope of the sub-oscillator is controlled by group B. So basically attack, sustain, release, hold will be controlled by this side of SEQui2R SYNTH. Now, if the decay knob is not instantly visible, just press again main and then edit and it's going to appear. So if I wanted to edit noise generator, I just edit here and I don't see the decay knob there, so I just press for a second there and press again edit and it will appear and it's there. Okay, so now we know how to edit independently the two oscillators and the noise generator and the sub-oscillator. But I'm just going to repeat that if you wanted to edit all of them at once, then you just press this one. And all the parameters that you touch in from now on, they will be transferred to all the other oscillators. And that means that if you already changed something in group B, for example, and it is different, as you can see, from group A, once this is clicked, not all the parameters will change automatically. That's kind of a safety measure we took because there might be just only a few touches you want to make. Let's say that this would transfer all the parameters at once, but you just wanted to have the filters sounding the same. And you would touch the filter and all the other parameters of group B would automatically match group A, including pitch and volume envelopes and LFOs, and that would be a mess because you would have to do everything again. So basically, once you press this button, from that moment on, all the knobs that you touch will control all the oscillators at the same time. But so what if you wanted to transfer all the parameters always and kind of copy and paste whatever it's on group A and group B? Well, unfortunately, you will have to just kind of touch like this the knobs of group A, and at that moment these knobs would match in group B. Another thing I want to say is that when you load a new sound, by default SEQui2R will kind of reset the parameters of that particular sound, and that's useful when you want to start a patch from scratch. But what if I already constructed a patch with two oscillators, I don't know, maybe a saw and a triangle, a normal triangle wave? What if I already constructed a patch that uses these two waveforms? And then I was kind of curious to know, what if I kept all my parameters but just changed the waveform? Like I want to go to the triangle up or the triangle octave up and so on, without modifying any parameter, without resetting from scratch after hours of experimenting. So to do so, I will have to press this button, and then when I change the next time the sound, all the parameters will be kept. So for example, group B, I want to have this up, this up, this up, this up. Press keep on load, change sound, and these parameters will stay. If I didn't press this, the parameters change. One suggestion would be that you start creating your patch with group A to all button clicked, no matter what sound is loaded on group B, all these parameters will be transferred. And then in case you wanted to add the second oscillator here in group B and change the sound, all you have to do is just keep on load and then change your sound, and you would keep all the parameters. Okay, one more thing about the sub-oscillator and noise generator. This assign option here. It says 1, 2, and 3. What does that mean? When it is assigned to number 1, which means group 1, basically, internally, the noise generator will be routed to the same bus as group A. So whatever effects and whatever step effects you're using for group A will affect also the noise generator. Similarly, when you assign it to number 2, it will be assigned to the same bus as group B. So all the effects and the step effects of group B will affect the noise generator. But instead, when you assign it to 3, it will be assigned to an independent bus. The downside of that is that bus number 3 doesn't have any bus effects on its own. So basically, it will be only affected by the master effects that you might use by selecting them in the option page. But other than that, bus number 3 is a clean bus. And it's handy when you want to have, for example, a sub-oscillator, a sine wave that is totally clean and not distorted or chorused or anything. Okay, one thing about the syncing option of the LFOs. In the option page, you can see that we can sync it to various divisions. This is the fastest division you can sync the LFO to the host. So for example, if I keep it to 16th, and this is the filter, we can put them all to 16, for example. Whenever I put my rate knob to the max, that will be the amount that is shown here. Then when, of course, I reduce this amount, it will kind of multiply by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and so on. But it will stay synced to the host. When we put it to absolute, this behaves like a a normal kind of LFO. All the envelopes and LFOs retrigger at every note. What that means is that, for example, if I have a filter shape here, every note I play will retrigger the envelope. Every note will have the same kind of filter movement. And that is valid for all the envelopes and LFOs, except for the filter LFO. The filter LFO is totally independent from whatever note I'm playing. So since the filter LFO is not retriggered at every note, group A and group B will end up having different kind of waves of filter movements phased in a different way. And that is very useful, especially when you're creating paths. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about are these buttons here: cutoff to velocity, resonance to velocity, and pulsewidth to velocity. If the cutoff to velocity is clicked, the velocity will control the filter cutoff. So let's have a look at it. So I'm pressing at different velocities, value. And you can see the filter is changing. And that's very useful when we're doing sequences. And the same thing goes for the resonance to velocity. And its effect is more pronounced when also the cutoff to velocity is active. You can hear the values of resonance changing. Supposed to. The same thing happened for the Pulsewidth. So that's it for this video, and remember to visit audiofire.com for more infos. See you next time. Bye bye.